TYT's investigative reporting team, led by Jonathan Larson, has broken story after story on Pete Buttigieg and the racial tensions in South Bend, Indiana, where he's mayor. Now, we have not gotten much credit for it, which is frustrating. In Jonathan Larson's reporting, we learned that there were white police officers in South Bend on tape saying terrible racist things. They were trying to push the town's first African-American police chief out of the force. And they worked with some of Pete Buttigieg's campaign donors in an effort to persuade Buttigieg to try to fire Darrell Boykins. That was the police chief. Now, Buttigieg tried to fire him, that didn't work, and so he demoted Darrell Boykins later. Now, the mainstream press hasn't focused on this story much, but recently there have been some reports, a little trickle here, a little trickle there, from sources like ABC News, the Associated Press, and Vice. They're focusing on it a little more, and luckily they're also citing TYT's excellent reporting on it. I'm giving you guys this update because our reporting team was funded by our audience, and we would not be able to break these stories without your help. So thank you times a million. You guys are incredible. With that said, I do want to go to a quick clip featuring Vice News and let me tell you, set this up for you before we go to the clip. So in a tense exchange with the Vice News moderator, Buttigieg defended his overall record as mayor and argued that reports that he'd ignored the city's black police officers were taken out of context, including an investigation by The Root and the Young Turks that found a pattern of Buttigieg ignoring black officers' concerns. So thank you to Vice for citing the reporting that our wonderful investigative reporter Jonathan Larson did. But with that said, let's go to a quick clip of their interview with Buttigieg.
I get a lot of questions about why I removed a black police chief. Almost never do I get a question about why I appointed a black police chief in the first place. It was largely because of his expertise and strength when it came to community policing. But when federal investigators came to South Bend and were investigating practices in the department, and I did not find out from him, that changed our relationship and changed my ability to have him in the role that he was in. Look, this is a painful issue in our city, and this is a painful issue in every city, but when we're dealing with it in our community, it's not from the luxury of a committee room. We're not debating these things in the abstract, we're dealing with them. And on my watch, in our city, we led the region in transparency on information about what was happening in policing.
He's not very convincing.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're having as much difficulty as you are handling a very serious problem in your small town, how are you going to deal with the very real problems we have in this country following Trump's administration?
Well, not in a committee room, certainly. We didn't handle it in a committee room. I handled it in a back room. I talked to my donors. They had a problem with this guy, and so I fired him. Like that. That's clearly what happened. What are you talking about that you didn't do it in a committee room? You did something bad. I don't care what the geographic surroundings were. You need to answer for it.
Well, the good news is there's a little more focus, media focus on this. And look, I don't think that it's fair to just simply trash candidates because you don't like them. But I do think it's fair to look at their record. Buttigieg doesn't have a lengthy political career. All you can really look at is how he conducted his job in South Bend, Indiana. And this is a huge story that should get more focus. The Associated Press also covered it, writing, weeks after Buttigieg took office, 3 officers complained to his chief of staff, Mike Schmuel, that Boykins, that was the African-American police chief, was recording and listening to their public or to their phone conversations, according to a 2013 deposition of Schmuel obtained by the Associated Press through a public records request and first reported by the Young Turks.
Ooh.
That's you guys, so thank you. I'm so proud of the work that's done here, but more importantly that it's funded by our viewers. So thank you times a million, like I've said before.
Yeah, it's amazing that you all funded it and that Jonathan Larson did great work, and like it's kind of like a dark joke here that like we have some sort of immunity to credit for literally anything we do. Like it pains anyone outside of TYT to mention that TYT was involved in something. So I'm glad that they did that, especially for something as important as this. If he is going to hold up his time as mayor as, look, I don't have a great resume, but hey, I was mayor, and he can't explain why we should care about that, and then reporters uncover a number of reasons why we should be worried about that, then if there's gonna be all this media attention on Buttigieg, which there has been, at least some of it could delve into what he did in his time as mayor. Like, yes, we got it, Norwegian, piano, all of that. What about what you did?
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.